Today we're going to be looking at boomers being boomers. So recently I came across a TikTok page called The Good Liars. It's right beside me, guys. Go and follow that page. It is so funny. Basically what they do is interview slightly elderly people and they just embarrass themselves. You'll see what I mean.
The shirt says never surrender?
That's right.
And that's from when he surrendered and got his mugshot taken?
Yes, it is.
Okay, thanks for letting me know.
Yeah, so that's basically what most of these videos are going to be like. A lot of them are Trump supporters. I think you have to explain it more to him because I don't think he understands. I mean, let's be completely honest, these people will never understand anything. That's what you're going to realize with this video. Like, these people say weird, wacko things that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Beautifully executed. I mean, he literally fell into his trap. Let's not talk about that Donald Trump mugshot. Like, that is such an insane mugshot. I actually think it's quite funny, but it's just insane to think that an actual president got a mugshot taken. And of course, it was Donald Trump.
So I have to ask you, you have multiple guns over the flag. Does that feel like it's a flag desecration?
No.
Okay. So what would the rules be for desecrating it?
Leaving it up dirty, tearing the flag, burning the flag.
Not changing the flag, literally changing the image of the flag? That's not desecrating it?
Yeah, it is.
So yeah, just like, what you done? Yet again, I love how everyone in the background completely disappeared, most likely because they knew he was about to be roasted. The way the people in the background just clear out, I mean, they all knew what was coming. I'm actually quite surprised people get interviewed by these people. Like, these people are viewed by millions of people on TikTok. You would think by this point, most of them supporters would realize that they're about to get embarrassed. That's jail time. I mean, if they do get put into jail, at least they'll be able to spend time with their good old buddy Trump.
You consider yourself pro-life?
100%. You know, God said, suffer the little children, for that such is the kingdom of God. So, I mean, every crime against a child is a big thing in God's eyes.
And in the Bible, God kills 42 children by a bear attack because they made fun of someone for being bald.
Oh.
Yeah, and what's your point?
It just doesn't sound very pro-life to me.
Well, you know what? The thing of it is when you really...
He killed children, 42 of them by a bear attack.
Well, you could even go this. When the children of Israel taken over the land of Canaan, he said, wipe them all out. Okay. Women, children, everything.
So we found some agreement that God is not very pro-life.
No, God is pro-life.
Oh.
By any chance, is this the same God that put one of every single animal onto a boat with Noah and then murdered the whole of the human population? Is that the same God we're chatting about? IQ meter firmly sits at respectable 0 for this man. That's bold of you to assume it even would get to 0. I would say with people like him, it's into the minuses. Probably like -5 or -6. Seriously, where do all these hypocritical idiots come from? Do you want to know what has caused people to be like that? Social media. And also kind of Trump. I feel like there's always been people who've been a bit cuckoo and a bit wacko. But ever since 2016, like, it has went through the roof, especially during 2020 when Trump lost the election. Like, I feel like a lot of these people get sucked into conspiracy theories on Facebook. It used to happen on Facebook, but I've noticed a load on TikTok now and Twitter. Like, they're starting to get pretty bad. Part of me kind of feels bad for a lot of these people though, and I think it's because they used to be normal people and then conspiracy theories rotted their brain. It's interesting watching him trying to make it make sense when it doesn't at all. Exactly, whenever you look at him, you can see his brain trying to work. He's trying to think of an answer, but he just can't. It's crazy how many lies these people believe.
And no gun-free zones.
Wait, so more guns.
Yep. Can't fight fire with water. You gotta fight fire with fire.
You can't fight fire with water?
Yeah. Depends on what's in the fire.
They specifically do fight fire with water.
Yeah.
I love how he basically says yeah and then walks off. Oh, yet again, they don't think before they speak, do they? The sip at the end, I feel like he took a big sip because he knows he made himself look like a bit of a numpty. You know, whenever he was like, you can't fight fire with water, you have to fight fire with fire, and then he took a sip. I feel like he kind of processed that for a few seconds and realized what he actually said. 30 years as a firefighter and finding out now that we were doing it all wrong by using water, who knew? I know you're doing it wrong for 30 years, you deserve to get sacked. Why were you trying to fight fire with water? You should be fighting fire with fire.
And I've just come from the municipal court of Fulton County, where I've filed a 4-count indictment for an arrest warrant for DA Fanny Willis.
Oh.
Because Fanny...
To arrest
Yes.
the DA, Fanny Willis?
Yes.
Have you spoken with lawyers and putting these together?
I have plenty of friends who are attorneys that I talk to regularly and bounce ideas off of.
Okay, was this well thought out enough?
I think so.
What's your view broadly on all this? So Donald Trump and some of his associates, did not like the result of the election in Georgia.
I think that people found it implausible that an Alzheimer's patient that can barely form a sentence is getting the most votes.
Sorry, a what?
An Alzheimer's patient, Joe Biden, who can barely form a sentence.
What are you saying?
saying that Joe Biden is cognitively in decline, and that's fairly obvious.
I don't know if I heard that incorrectly or not, but I think he meant to say Alzheimer's, and he said Alzheimer's. The jokes really do write themselves. I have a lot of friends who are lawyers, gives me the same vibes as I'm watching Grey's Anatomy, so I'm a surgeon. That kind of reminds me of what Karen say. Like, I feel like Karen's are always like, oh, I know somebody in powerful places. You know, I know everyone, I'm gonna get you sacked. And then they never do. They claim to know people, but do they really? Does he actually know lawyers, or are these just his friends who are as cuckoo as him? I just picture Fanny Willis laughing her ass off when she sees these court documents. Is that like one of the judges in like one of Donald Trump's court things? That man is in and out of court more than I'm in and out of McDonald's, and I go to McDonald's a lot. We have to listen to what that man said at the beginning again.
And I've just come from the municipal court of Fulton County, where I've filed a 4-count indictment for an arrest warrant for DA Fanny Willis.
So he's filed a court indictment. Do you honestly think you, being a normal civilian, is going to be able to indict a judge? Because it ain't happening. Also, the confident nod of agreement from the woman next to him. I feel like he'd be really good as a politician because he just says a load of nothing while saying stuff. Like, he says words, but the words don't mean anything. They don't make any sense. They don't really form a sentence. Like, he just sits there and says words. I used to be like that whenever I was back in school writing essays. I'd have to get to the word limit, so I'd just say a load of blabber. And that's basically what these people say. Like, they always say the exact same things, but realistically, did they even say anything?
What do you think of the job the president's doing?
Biden's no president.
Oh.
What do you mean?
He's a fiction of our imagination. Hell,
Fiction of our
I
imagination?
don't think he's even been in the White House. Go. If you ever go back and look at the White House, man, they always had 2-3 people on top, at least one on top of the White House. Always security. Okay. Go look at the White House last 3 or 4 years. Never been one person. Never been one person.
And what does that prove?
That proves that there's no freaking president right now. Biden's a figment of our imagination. I think the guy's been dead for 3 or 4 years.
What do you mean a figment of our imagination? Like he's speaking. He just spoke the other day. He went to Hawaii.
You could be a person with a mask on. I could be wearing a mask. You wouldn't even know.
Are you wearing a mask? Like, are you a human? Well, if Biden's not the president of the United States, who is? Bill Gates? In the UK, this would be a comedy sketch. Honestly, whenever I watch these videos, I sometimes wish that they were comedy sketch, but they are reality. Some people are actually like that. This is scary. It is very scary. And do you want to know what's so scary about it? It's the fact that he was most likely a normal person. And now he's just been completely turned into that. That is what conspiracy theories do to you. I feel like he is just one of them ultra MAGA people. I also feel like people like him always believe the same thing. Donald Trump is their savior. They're a bit homophobic, a bit transphobic, a bit racist, a bit misogynistic. Like, they really are just nasty people.
I don't care if he is in a jail cell. I am one of those people that will vote for him no matter what. Because
How do you feel about the concept of law and order in general?
I agree with law and order. I am 100%.
Do you feel that if he's convicted, though, that wouldn't change your mind?
He won't be convicted. He
But
will,
if he was.
but he won't.
But if
But
he
he
was.
won't.
He won't.
But he
I'll-
will.
I'll
If he
be
But he
was
won't.
convicted.
But he will.
He
But he
won't be
won't.
convicted.
But if he was convicted,
It is impossible.
I don't know, but I'm saying, what if he's found
won't
guilty?
be.
He
won't
has
be.
been.
But what if he is?
I'm not going to answer that question. He won't be.
But if a trial takes place and then he's found guilty, like, what if that
I'm
happens?
not going to answer that question.
Okay.
Videos like that genuinely remind me of whenever I was like 8 years old and I claimed that I seen like a demon in the corner. Like, I remember I told my mum one time I seen a creepy woman stand in the corner of my room, and I was so sure of it. People stay in toxic relationships because they poured so much into it that they feel they're owed something and can't leave until they get it. This is that. Exactly. Like, I'm gonna be completely honest, people like that are basically in a cult. I also recently watched a very interesting YouTube video about conspiracy theories and people who used to fall into them, be a part of QAnon, etc. And a lot of them basically joined QAnon because their mental health was horrible. They were basically struggling with their mental health, and conspiracy theories were a way to distract them from that pain, and they only realized how bad it was whenever they like left the cult. This is why we need to take stuff like that, and this is for everyone, not just right-wing people. I'm talking about insane LGBT people, right-wing people, left-wing people, sports people. If you know anyone who acts like these people about something, you need to get them some help. But the sky's blue. No, it's not, but it is. No, it's not. You see it's blue. I'm not gonna answer that. That's basically what it's like. They just go back and forward. It's like a mom arguing with her child.
We need to abolish abortion, no exceptions.
So this says, before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. And that's from the Bible?
Yeah, from Jeremiah 1. Right. So God knows these babies in the womb. He has a purpose and a destiny for each child. They shouldn't be killed.
Didn't he kill all the firstborn sons in Egypt?
I think I'm done.
She thinks she's done, but I thought God was pro-life. Her look and hesitation says, wait, what? I never actually read the Bible, so I have no idea what you're talking about. That is what it's like with a lot of these people, and I blame social media. I blame Facebook, I blame Twitter, I blame TikTok. Like, I feel like they constantly say lies on Facebook, and it gets them sucked into it. Conspiracy theories is basically like ISIS. They radicalize you, like that's literally what it is. QAnon is an organization that radicalizes people to join their cult, and it's terrifying.
So that'll be there forever, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's real.
That is a real tattoo?
Yes, sir.
That's
Oh,
cool.
nah, I'm so sorry. If I were Donald Trump, I'd be furious. Did you see how bad that looks? No regards. I mean, if I were him, I'd definitely be regarding that. Look at that. Like, do you think Donald Trump would be happy with that type of tattoo? Donald Trump has actually spoken about this quite recently. He hates whenever media organizations use bad photos of him. Do you think he's gonna be happy with a photo like that? Like, I don't know where they got that photo of him, but it is not a nice one.
We the people, and then FJB, what does that mean?
You know what that means.
Joe Biden?
You want to air it? You can say it.
Is it? It says we the people, Joe Biden?
That's what it says. If you can read it, then you read it.
I guess so, but you're...
Then you can figure it out, right?
So are you part of we the people?
I am part of we the people, yes. I'm an American.
So we the people, Joe Biden.
You do what to Joe Biden? Is Joe Biden consenting to that? My mother used to have a saying, lights are on but nobody's home. That basically describes everybody in this video. I love that last second or so when he realizes what it says. Exactly, and the thing is, they're not effing Joe Biden, they're actually effing Trump. Because whenever people think of Trump supporters, they're gonna think of him. But you wanna know something? These people live in their own fantasy land. You will never change their mind. Anyways, guys, this really fun video there. If we see me look at more TikToks like this, let me know definitely will. Press bigger, subscribe, and see you all tomorrow for another video.